As I said at the beginning of Mass Day in the announcements, that we're coming up on the end of ordinary time. And I almost kind of lightheartedly refer to it as, say, Catholic New Year is coming. But it does reflect a bit of a change, because Jesus in the parable today is talking about something that's a little bit different, that's hard for us to get our minds around. Because in Jesus' day, many good and faithful people believed that they had every reason to be very, very fearful of God. I don't mean fear and awe. I mean like looking at the joy and wonder. I mean just being afraid. They felt that God was distant. They felt that God was not really attuned to the needs of their daily lives. One of the reasons why it was important for the Savior to come to walk with the people and to understand the people, to know their worries and their travails, and to laugh and cry with them with tears of joy as well as tears of sorrow. They felt God was distant. And for them, the idea that, let's say, of these three servants who were left, many of them identify with the last one, who was afraid of the master and would rather take their gift and bury it in the ground because they were worried that they wouldn't measure up. Jesus came to tell us about an altogether different way of being. And in this parable, it's almost as if they're turning the story around. Hey, what if the master trusted the servants and said, you, take these gifts, take these talents, go and do something good with them. And they came back with, say, like it was an investment thing. And you know, I guess in this 21st century world, we can understand investment things. People want to know how they're getting ahead in the world, and measuring what you got or measuring what you have in your wallet or in your garage or in your house. Well, maybe that's one way to measure it. But Jesus is really saying, no, go and be free to go and take the gifts and do great things. And maybe every now and then we need that reassurance too. Look at the experience of the world we live in today. There's war in different pockets of the world that's very, very troubling. People are sometimes concerned about, say, what's happening next with the economy. We have many people in Greene County who worry about not where today's meal is coming from, but where is tomorrow's meal coming from. By the way, tell your friends about that Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday for friends who are in need. There's a wonderful meal waiting for them, and they'll bring it to their doorstep. But one thing we want to kind of keep in mind in the middle of all this is that, how do people think about God? And Jesus wants his listeners to think about God in a very, very different way. Something Pope Francis said a few weeks ago in one of his daily homilies. He talked about how we're called to live our faith with great hearts, open to God and open to the world around us. It reminds me of something I was reading in seminary years ago. This French theologian, Yves Congar, wrote, we're called to love the Lord and to love the world. Love our sisters and brothers like we were loving the world, like we were loving Jesus. All these things we kind of keep in our heart. Hey folks, the civil calendar says Thanksgiving's coming. That's great. In our spiritual lives, it could be Thanksgiving every day. To take the good gifts God gave us and to go and say, get up off our chairs. Take a step out of what we are comfortable doing and do something different. Take the extra step with someone. Share the gifts that God gave you and me and all of us who believe, brimming over in their generosity and abundance. May we go and make those gifts come alive. Can we give them away? Because we live in a world that is hungering and thirsting for all the Lord has to offer. And the Lord gives us so much. The Word, the graces from the sacraments, life, faith, hope, charity, all these things. We live in a big world. I know I talked to you earlier today about remembering St. Mary's on Giving Tuesday. Think about year-round how we're called to remember each other and give from the grace that God gives us.